What's up, Yen here, and this is my first impression, quick unboxing and graph measurements of this Tinhifi C2 Mech Warrior. As you can see, I brought out my own Mech Warrior. Now, before I begin, I'd like to thank Linso for sending this to me, making this video possible. Appreciate it very much every single time. But guys, rest assured that whatever I say in this video is my own opinion. This video is not scripted, and Linso will be watching this video together with you guys. So, Tinhifi C2 Mech Warrior, and this is now currently retailing for $29 US. Unaffiliated links are in the description below, so for those of you who are interested, please go check it out. Okay, so as usual, I'll open this up, go through the specifications, the accessories, and then I'll measure this with my measuring rig, and I'll listen to this for the very first time. And while I'm listening to it, I'll give you guys my live listening experience with it, or sound impressions of it. But please note that this is not my full review. After this video, I will listen to this for a longer period of time, and then I'll make another video at a later date. Okay, now this video will be time-stamped, so for those of you who wish to skip around, please feel free to do so. Right, so let's first remove this plastic, okay, and then we can talk about it. Okay, so as you can see, this is a Mech Warrior theme. That's why I've got my own Mech Warrior, and don't have a picture of the IM in front, but at the back or the side, oh yeah, you do have some specifications on the side. So let's just quickly go through it. 10mm woofer. I'm not too sure if it's woofer, but anyway, sensitivity is 103. Frequency response is 10 to 20,000 Hertz. Impedance is 32 ohms. Max distortion is 3% at 1 kilohertz. Okay, anything else? Nope. Okay, let's open this up. Okay, there you go. Okay, so let's take everything out first. Okay, nothing in the box. What's inside here? Yep. Alright, so we've got paperwork. Okay, QC check, QC card. No, yeah, product warranty. Okay, and then we have ear tips. Let's just take a look at the ear tips. Alright, so these are the ear tips. Very typical Tinhifi ear tips. Yep, I've seen many of these, so they're pretty okay. I mean, usable. They are quite grippy on the outside. Normal bore, not too narrow, not too wide. So pretty okay ear tips. Yep, and there are 5 sets of this. Yeah. Right, so let's take a look at the cable. Alright, why is everyone going with this style of cable? Okay, but I mean, well, yeah, it's the budget style cable. This cable is actually pretty good, to be honest. Right, it doesn't look pretty, but it's functional. It doesn't tangle as easily as those braided ones. But yeah, so you have your cable management strap here, the Velcro strap, which is quite annoying at times. It sticks to my shirt, and but I mean, it holds the cable in position. Okay, so you got your angled 3.5 headphone jack here. Okay, and you've got the Tinhifi logo. The cable is 2-core, non-braided, very similar to KZ cables, but they have their own style, right? So their Y splitter is a little bit different from the KZ ones, and then and also the 2-pin, and it's a bit different. Okay, well, at least the left and right is quite visible. And then you got your ear hooks, which is quite soft. Okay, ear hooks are quite soft. Okay, so cable, nothing much to talk about. Let's talk about the IMs. And so there's a pair of ear tips here. So in total, you will get 6 pair of ear tips. Okay, and this is cold to the touch. This is the 6063 aluminum grade type of build, and the whole thing, I can feel the entire shell is built out of aluminum. Okay, aluminum, depends on where you come from. So, but anyway, yeah, the entire shell is made up of aluminum, and the front faceplate is so industrial looking, so Gundam style type of look. You got the, I'm not too sure if these Allen screws they work or not. I'm sure they do, right? And they got, I think this is a vent. I'm not too sure, can't see, but it looks like a vent to me. Okay, and it looks very ergonomic. Well, not really, very industrial, not ergonomic. Yeah, the sides, everything else, the chamfering, the beveling of the sides here, it's all very industrial looking. Okay, and on the inner shell, again, right, a lot of sharp corners here. I mean, it's still curvy, but like this one, you've got a slope. It's not exactly very 90 degree, all right? So yeah, very unique looking shell. Okay, and you got your nozzle and you got your metal filter. Okay, right. Oh, and this 2-pin connector is kind of recessed. As you can see, it's quite recessed. So not many 2-pin cables will be able to fit on this, but you need to have the QDC style or the 2-pin extended style. I'm not too sure what style. If anyone knows, please let me know what style of connectors are these. But yeah, they go in quite deep inside, very similar to Moondrop. Okay, all right. So let me bring out my measuring rig and let's measure these Tinhifi C2. So be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I brought out my measuring rig and yeah, my sound card, Kotori cable, my foam tips, and my coupler. Okay, and I've already calibrated everything, so I'm not going to make you guys watch that again. So let's start the measurement. Let's put the left side. Okay, so this is the left side, as you can see. Right, left. Okay, so let's put it in the coupler and make sure I get a proper seal. Okay, now let's go to the computer and let's first give it a name. This is the Tinhifi C2. Okay, check the levels first. Okay, so the level is 87 dB. That's fine. Let's begin. Let's see how the left side looks like. Oh, wow. Okay, now let's take the left side out, and this is the right side, as you can see, the right side. And now let's put the right side into the coupler. All right, now let's go back to the computer and let's check the levels again. 87 dB, so I have perfect channel volumes on both sides. So let's begin. Wow, it's almost perfect. I mean, there are two lines here. It's just that at the tail end, which is beyond 8K, there's a little bit of variance between the two channels, which is the left and the right. Okay, so let me tidy up this graph and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I've tidied up the graph and I've added in the Harman target curve, which is the dotted line here. Okay, so looking at this graph, basically I would say that this has got a pretty close to Harman type of sub bass, pretty elevated mid bass, and mids, the gain to the mids, to the up, to the treble is not very harsh, I can say. The upper mids and the presence is also not very harsh, this part here. In fact, not a very present type of treble. And the brilliance in terms of the air at the tail end near to the 14K region, is there's a peak here. I'm not too sure if this is the artifact or anything like that, but looking at this, the treble looks quite well, the roll-offs looks quite natural, aside from this peak here. Treble looks kind of a bit darkish compared to Hammond, but it's alright. I think it's quite close to Hammond, but with this dip here, I'm not too sure how it would sound like. In terms of the bass, the mid bass, I would say, is quite thumpy and quite present, so that might veil the mids here. And now let's take a look at the next graph, which I'm measured. So this straight line is the neutralized Hammond line. So the Hammond curve, which you saw earlier, is now flattened to be a straight line. And then this curvy line here, or this squiggly line here, is actually the curve of the C2. Okay. So looking at this, the mid bass is this part here is telling me the mid bass is forward, and the lower mids as well, in terms of maybe instruments like the pianos, anything that has got lower mids. It's telling me that this IM is a little bit warmish. Yep, a little bit warm sounding. And this part here from 1K onwards, it's actually below the Hammond curve, so it's kind of darkish. Okay, especially at about 2 to 5K region here. Okay, this part here, but it's not a very dark treble. All right, it's just a little bit below the Hammond curve. Some IEMs I've seen is even lower. And at the tail end where the air is, it looks to me it's quite an airy IEM, but I got to listen to it first. Okay, so let me take out my iPad and listen to this for the first time. So be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I brought out my iPad and I've got my Questal dongle DAC here, and I've got my CP145 ear tips and my Kotori cable, okay, and the song Enemy. So let's put these C2s in my ear and let's listen to the song for the first time. Pretty comfortable. Okay, so let's begin the song and let's listen to it for the first time. Let's go. Very rumbly. The rumble is good. The impact is very present. Oh yes. So I can hear that the bass is forward. Lead singer sounds somewhere on the side top, and they sound pretty forward as well. Pretty good and very present as well. And it's got a good note weight to it. Sounds a bit heavy. Soundstage sounds quite wide. Yep, I would say soundstage sound pretty wide. Very good sound separation and imaging as well. The bass is actually, is, to me, this is actually a V-shaped tuning. Warm sounding IM, heavy note weight, very fun sounding, I would say. Very engaging bass. At the same time, there's quite a bit of air to the treble, though it's not a very bright IM. Yeah, it's not a very bright IM. It's not the darkest as well, but I would say there's no sibilance or no shoutiness to this. Very well done, actually, to the treble. Easy to listen to type of treble, non-fatiguing. It's got good air to the treble. The mids in the mids are a bit recessed. Yeah, mids are recessed. The star of the show here is actually the bass. Very prominent bass. Not very firm. It bleeds a bit to the mids. The resolution on this is okay. Detail retrieval is average on the whole. Technically, this is actually pretty well, a bit above average, I would say. But soundstage is pretty good. It's wide to the sides. It's got good depth. Alright, so let's pause the song. Okay, so Tinhifi C2s. So just a very quick summary. Soundstage is wide to the sides. Got a bit of depth. There's not a big, it's not a very big soundstage. All right, it's all right. It's quite a medium-sized soundstage. Sound separation is good. Imaging is pretty good. The bass is the star of the show here. So you've got very impactful bass, punchy and heavy in note weight. It's warm sounding. The rumble is also pretty present. In fact, very present. So that's why I say bass is quite well, the start of the show of this this IEM. The mids is quite forward as well. So I can hear instruments are quite forward, and also the vocals. So male vocals sound pretty good on this, and but they are still veiled. All right, and the bass does bleed a little bit, but it's quite it's actually a pretty fast bass. If you ask me, it's a fast bass, but it's not a well controlled bass, but it's fast. Okay, and quite good, right? Yeah, actually the bass is very good. So anyway, the treble is not the brightest treble. At the same time, it's non-fatiguing. It's not shouty. It's not sibilant. So pretty nice. Yeah, it's a pretty forgiving type of non-fatiguing type of treble. There's quite a bit of air to the treble as well. So the roll off of that cymbal strikes and the hi-hats, they actually sound pretty good. Yeah, it doesn't sound unnatural or very unnatural. I mean, but it's got good airiness to the treble. Yeah, right. So that's my very quick summary of what I just heard for the first time. Again, this is not my full review. After this video, I'll listen to this for a longer period of time and I'll come up with another video. Right, so that's it for now. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you guys give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Alright, so till my full review of this Tinhifi C2, I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and thank you so much for watching. Cheers.